Hey, welcome back to the Grow Show, where it's 420 all day long, anytime you want it, right here on Pot TV. Thanks to Professor Ziggy for that bit of wisdom before the break. You can connect with him over at Cannabis Culture Magazine's webpage at www.cannabisculture.com. You'll find chat forums over there, a very good place to find a ton of info about pot there already. You can post your questions and hook up with all sorts of growers from all over the world, as it turns out. Tons of experience, lots of fun to be had over there. And as you're looking around in Mark Emery's catalog, you're going to notice we've got a new addition to it, and we're very happy to include Paradise Seeds from Amsterdam. We've got their entire catalog with the exception of one strain at the moment. Their premier strain, Sensi Star, has figured quite highly over the past several Cannabis Cups and High Life Cups over in Amsterdam. They won last year, first place, came in second place this past year. Sensi Star, one of the nicest plants that Barge and I saw when we were over at the Cup this year. Beautiful looking thing, very big, thick buds on it, sweet, sweet smoke. We smoked a bunch of it. They've got 8 or so strains that they breed for some potency, some good yielding plants. So they've got a nice indica sativa mix going on. They got a couple outdoor strains. Have a look, Mark Emery Direct Seeds at emeryseeds.com. Look for Paradise Seeds, some very good smoking pot there. Now here's something that keeps coming up in my job as working at Emery Seeds, and people are asking me to suggest what strains they should be growing, and every other kind of grow question you can imagine as well. But here's the thing I find: your expectations generally are a little too high here for this plant. Now, I've been smoking pot for a very long time, and I'll tell you, this stuff has its limits, what you can expect it to do to you. Now, I got people that are emailing me and phoning me and asking me what pot is like LSD, what psychedelic high can I get, what strain is it that I need to grow. Well, if you find one, you tell me, because I'd like to be smoking that kind of pot. Now, I don't think I'd be sitting here doing this show. You've seen Dana's show when he's been on chemical drugs, and it is not like this. We've been smoking pot here all day long, and this stuff is not like that. Same kind of thing. People are asking me what kind of stuff is going to put me on my ass, give me couch lock. Well, I don't know. 2 or 3 occasions in my life I've had couch lock, and 2 or 3 occasions in my life I've been too high. You know, you just get too buzzed all of a sudden, more than you expected. But here's how this all works now. If you're smoking a certain strain of pot, if I was smoking Big Bud all day long, every day, all week, initially it's going to give me a pretty good buzz, but eventually it's going to kind of wear off, and I'll build up a certain tolerance to this particular combination of things, I guess. Now, when somebody walks into the room with another type of pot, it generally has a bit of an impact on you, only because it's different than what you've been smoking, not necessarily because it's any better. Could be, too, that you're smoking a lot of indicas. That's what we're generally able to buy on the street, because this is what most people grow. And all of a sudden somebody comes by with a joint of a lot more sativa in it. This stuff will rock your world, and maybe sometimes will scare you, thinking, wow, this is the most powerful pot in the world. But if you started smoking that sativa every day, day after day after day, you'd get to the same point where then when your buddy comes back in with a joint of indica, it puts you on your ass, because you're just not used to the difference in it. So I don't know, you got to cool your jets out there in terms of what you can expect this plant to do for you in terms of a high. It just doesn't take over. It has a lot to do too with your experience and how much you're smoking. If you're smoking every day, then there's not a lot of bud that's going to come along to have that impact. But if you're not smoking a lot, then they certainly can. They can have a lot of impact on you, and if you smoke too much, it can put you out. If you're at a party and you have too many tokes, all of a sudden you're asleep, or you're really paranoid, or anxiety or something like that, just don't smoke as much. Go easy if you're a casual smoker, and you'll enjoy this a lot more. But the same thing holds true, in my opinion, here for medical marijuana. I get an awful lot of communications, people looking for relief for certain conditions and wanting to know what strains to go. But quite frankly, nobody knows. Nobody's done any research on this. No one can say that Jack Herrera can give this person that relief for that condition, or give all these people that relief for this condition for that matter. It just doesn't work that way. We don't know enough about it. I'm getting a lot of questions too, along the same lines as I want an LSD high. I want a high that's going to completely eradicate my pain, but once again, this stuff just isn't strong enough for that. It's a reasonably mild plant when it comes to the effects that it has on your body. It does not take over. Painkillers now, if I've got a headache and I smoke some pot, my headache doesn't go away necessarily. It's not powerful enough to do that. It's powerful enough to give you a certain amount of relief for a certain amount of time, but once again, if you're getting relief from this, after a while you're not going to, because it's just not strong enough to overpower everything that's going on in your body. Simple little plant. We got to remember this about marijuana. We've been kind of hoodwinked here by those who would want to throw us in jail for this little plant, trying to make it into something that it's not. And they're convincing you, perhaps, and a lot of people, that this is more powerful than it really is. It is not. It's non-toxic. Couldn't kill you forever, no matter what you do to it. There is no toxic level to this plant, no matter what you do. So, I don't know. We've just got to mellow out a bit and enjoy the nuances of the differences of these strains. I've smoked them all. There's nothing that caused me to see God. There's nothing that caused me to black out or anything else for that matter. So it has a lot to do with your frame of reference and a whole bunch of other things. What you ate, who you're with, what you're doing. So, you know, you can smoke a joint all day long, a cop walks into your face, it's going to change your point of view. The joint is not going to overpower that. So take it easy. Look for what you like, you know. Enjoy growing the plant. Grow it the best you can, and you'll see the differences between Big Bud and Jack Herrera and California Orange and Big Mac from Federation or Northern Lights Blueberry or any of these. They're all great. We've got 400 strains in the catalog, and people ask me if this one's good, if that one's good, if this one's... Well, they're all good. There's no point in having them in there if they're no good. Now, we smoke them all, we test them all, our customers grow them all, try them all. We know they're good. Every plant is good. There's no strain that's worse than the others. Who would offer it? Why would anyone want it? So, don't worry so much about it. Check out Choosing a Strain at Mark Emery Direct Catalog. That'll explain a lot of how you figure out how to grow the plant that you want. So have fun out there anyway. I'm going to fire up this pipe as it's sitting here now. You know, all this talking, it just gets in the way of smoking pot. So I'm going to get out of here, I think. We'll call it a show. Thanks a lot for watching. All you got to know is marijuana's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Spread the word. We're out there doing the best we can to get this legalized. We need your help. Got to keep smoking. We're going to have to overgrow everybody. George W. Bush, this guy's a nightmare. You're going to have to outgrow him. You're going to have to overgrow everybody that's against us. So do that. Get growing pot. Get growing better pot. We're going to be right back here. Probably with a smaller chunk of hash next week. So join me. I'm Marijuana Man. This is The Grow Show. Peace and pot. We'll see you next time.
Hello, this is Chris Bennett. Join us weekly at Pot TV on the Burning Shiva Hour as we explore the roots of cannabis culture throughout history and around the globe. On pottv.net, home of the herd.